Why, hello! It seems we've already made it here. The year end. 2022 was such a wonderful year for movies, filled with so many creative ideas and fun new concepts. I think for a lot of genres, we got some of the best projects yet. We look at horror and we have films like Nope, Barbarian, Fresh, Bodies, 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 X, and a ton more that I feel really brought some life to the genre that needed some ingenuity. I can't help but seeing the superhero movies this year and regarding it as a much improved year over the last. While not everything was perfect, I think The Batman was the best thing DC has produced since the Christopher Nolan trilogy. And for Marvel, Far From Home and Wakanda Forever were a very good finish to Phase 4 of the MCU. Those are just a brief few movies in the array of standout films from the year, but today we're gonna look at one in particular, my favorite film of 2022, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I remember going to the theater with my uncle when this first came out. I didn't really know anything going into the film, and I think that's the best way to watch it. The experience for the next 2+ hours was unlike anything I've ever felt. Getting out of the theater, I couldn't help but just laugh with my uncle at all the crazy things we witnessed. On the outside, it's an incredibly creative and well choreographed action sci-fi movie that you'll never forget. But on the inside, behind all the craziness, is some of the most beautiful, introspective themes that'll have you shedding tears by the end. Before we really get into this, I would 100% implore you to go watch the movie if you haven't, and take in the experience for yourself first. So getting into this now, if someone asked me how to describe this film, I don't really know what I'd say. I guess I'd sort of compare it to doing DMT. Not saying I've done DMT, but this truly felt like an out-of-body experience. The amount of times my emotions switched throughout, going from shock to laughter to tears. The beginning of the film shows us the Wang family living an everyday mundane life, burdened by the struggles of overpiled bills and turmoil in their relationships. Within a few minutes, we already know how the characters are feeling about the environment, how they interact with each other, and a general idea of their perspective on life. I found the opening sequence very enthralling. There was beautiful sound design, fun shots, and a brief showing of what's to come, but the thing I enjoyed the most was the performances. Michelle Yeoh is incredible in this film, and you can tell that immediately. We follow Evelyn through the chaos of this opening as she's sorting through her bills for the upcoming audit while trying to make everything perfect for her father coming to visit. She's rushing through conversation with her family and fixing issues downstairs with the laundromat customers as well. It was all done perfectly due to her performance, seamlessly switching between different emotions while jumping from conversation to conversation. All while this is going on, we get a deeper understanding for her as a person, as she has no time to properly acknowledge anyone or enjoy some of the fun moments around her. She's caught up in the rush of life. She scoffs at those around her having fun in the chaos, and rather than sharing the enjoyment that's right in front of her, she looks beyond, yearning for a life that she feels she never had. All of this chaos and rush climaxes with Evelyn weakening her relationship with her daughter even more.
You have to try and eat healthier. You are getting fat.
What a wonderfully crafted introduction to everyone. We talked about Michelle Yeoh's performance, but someone else who was so crucial to making all of the craziness work was Ke Huy Quan. Such a captivating performance. The film going from a grounded, realistic take on the daily rush of life to otherworldly multiverse concepts. There was a lot of potential to fail as it constantly jumps back and forth between the two worlds throughout. But it works incredibly well, and we owe a lot of that to Mr. Ke Huy Quan. When we're showing multiverse jumping, it's captivating seeing him switch instantaneously from this amazing, fun-loving absurdist to a stern, serious-toned alpha version of himself trying to fight a war. A very ambitious ask from the writers, having all of the cast play multiple, vastly different versions of the same characters, and to switch naturally between them. But the cast is of course incredible, and makes it one of the standout points of the film. From the point in which the multiverse is introduced to the end of the film, it is non-stop just throwing fun concepts at you. The choreography is lovely, and for me this movie might have the best action out of anything released this year. If you enjoyed some of the amazing sequences and shots, you should take a look at the effort they went through to make everything come to life. props to them because the movie really does feel like a big action blockbuster, despite having a tenth of the budget. I was absolutely blown away by everything mentioned up to this point, but what really made me fall in love with this film is the messages behind it. For all the crazy nonsense we watch unfold, it's cool to see all of it is intentionally thematic and follows the film's narrative on rejecting nihilistic viewpoints and embracing the absurdism in everything. There's absurdity in everything around us, and if it's all meaningless, then we can make meaning out of the chaos in our lives and find happiness in those around us. For me, this film brought forth a lot of great perspective and thought. As someone who had a nihilistic viewpoint growing up, struggling to find a love or connection to the world around me, or feeling like life could be somewhat meaningless and trivial, seeing Joy or Jobu Tupaki express a lot of those same sentiments and put forth such a grim outlook on everything around her, it resonated hard. Life is filled with stresses, anxiety, bad experiences, losses, grief, and so much more. And if you let all that rest on your mind, if all you can think about is the negativity around you, or the only thing you could focus on is what you don't like in your life, it'll eat you alive. The Everything Bagel is such a clever representation of that heavy weight on your mind. So to have the direct contrast to that mindset be Waymond, the embodiment of everything I've personally grown to appreciate in life. The overt optimist absurdism, the love for the small things, appreciating the process of personal growth and improvement, enjoying the time we have with those around us. Because truly, at the end of the day, life may be meaningless. It may be filled with horrible things, experiences that we won't enjoy, chaos. But it doesn't mean we have to live like everything sucks. Because if we are all just set on this path to the grave, if we have a short period to do anything we want, why don't we make that anything something fun, enjoyable? We can love, appreciate, find meaning in the meaningless. His hopefulness and love for his life spread positivity onto those around him. It saved his wife, and in turn helped save their daughter. The representation of the googly eye as a direct opposite to the bagel, while the bagel is this big dark circle surrounding the light, engulfing it, the eye is the light surrounding that darkness, learning to embrace the positivity around that shroud of hate and negativity. For a film so heavily based on love over hate and the insane package they deliver it in, it could have absolutely failed and came across super cheesy and campy, but no. I think the heartfelt performances from all the cast made this feel extremely genuine and passionate. I was fully connected to each of the characters and their views and wanted to see the best for them. So when Ke Huy Quan delivered Waymond's Be Kind speech and poured his heart into every word, I was sold.
我理解，但你不是一个服输的人，我又何尝不是？只是我们选择的处理方式不一样。
So much raw emotion portrayed. It's rare I am so deeply connected to a film that I am emotional to the point of tears. But this one did it. Everything from that speech forward to Evelyn's epiphany on learning to fight like Waymond, fighting with her daughter and choosing acceptance of herself and her daughter over the trauma left from her dad, not wanting to let go, and all of the family pulling joy back from the darkness. It's truly a touching journey every time I rewatch it. In summary, a message can be conveyed 1,000 ways, but all it takes is one person to be kind and change someone's life. Be kind to others around you, help others, and let them help you. Don't reject the stupidity and absurdity of life, but embrace it. Find hope and joy in your surroundings. I absolutely love Everything Everywhere All at Once, and for my taste, is about as close to cinematic perfection as we got this year. It's a movie that I could discuss for hours, so I'd love to hear your takeaways and thoughts with the movie, how it resonated with you and your experience watching it for the first time. This is going to be my last upload of the year, but I'm excited for a very busy and fun schedule for 2023. I'm looking forward to bringing a lot of new content forward and continuing to improve. I hope you have a very, very happy new year. Peace.